mean, Christ.
I knew Andrea would stop speaking to you if you refused to go ahead with that lawsuit. I could have told you.
Yes, you did tell me many times.
Well, in one way it's upsetting, but in another it means we don't have to go to her 40th birthday party.
Ah, that is uppermost in my mind. I was terrified lockdown would end in time for it. Believe me, I'm having this drink to celebrate, not to soothe my nerves.
Do you know, I heard that she wanted cash instead of gifts for her birthday? It's a bit off, frankly.
That's the only thing she's ever done that I respect. The problem was she was having a punk rock party. It's bad enough when they have a fun dress-up day at Meriton's. All I want to do on those is tell every person I meet to ram it up them.
Was punk rock around in the 80s? I can't believe that. Can't say I recall ever seeing a punk rocker walking down the street.
Well, it was on the way out. Anyway, at that time, weren't you mainly thinking about the extension on the house? All those weekends trailing around looking at lino that was supposed to look like the floor of a Spanish farmhouse. I'd shoot myself to death if I had to do it.
Well, I was tempted to shoot your father to death. Oh, the trouble I had trying to convince him to get that extension. Do you know, there should be a special place in heaven for me for getting that second living room. I just wish the people who bought the place would know the trouble I went to and then they could be grateful to me for it. Oh.
It's possible they're dead now, though. That upstairs deck wasn't in great condition. Do you remember the night Angel Face fell through the gap in the planks?
Oh, yeah, they just need to watch where they're going.
Angel Face didn't. Thank God he wasn't hurt.
Oh, yes. Rolling around on his back, looking surprised. Oh, Angel Face, he was such a lovely cat. I hope I see him in heaven.
Yes, but would he be in this section for people who got extensions on their houses or in some kind of animal pen?
Well, I just hope we're in the same place so it's easy to find him.
Well, yeah, I'd love to see him again. But what I wonder is, when you go to heaven and you see someone you know, have they been following everything you're doing, or do you have to fill them in?
Oh, I wouldn't worry. I doubt most of them would be any more interested in what other people are doing than when they were alive. They'd probably bend your ear telling you what they were doing.
To be honest, I'd rather be talking to famous people than to my relatives.
Oh, good God, yes. I'd much rather be talking to Grace Kelly about her regrets than Nora about her feelings on daylight saving.
But maybe it'll be a youthful version of Nora up there. You know, the 1960s version. Wasn't she living in England then?
Oh, yes. I think she single-handedly stopped London swinging.
So what age would you like to be for the afterlife?
Oh, I think 25 is probably the ideal age. Oh, no. When I was 25, I was bored to sobs. I just got married too early. And old age is not for sissies.
Ugh, don't say that. You sound like you're in a movie where a lot of feisty old people take up stripping. And no age is for sissies. Being in your 20s is terrible. That's when you're really under pressure to go to parties. Parties. Half a bowl of damp cheeses and queuing for the bathroom. The only thing worse than that is being a teenager. And the best you can hope for then is to not get assaulted at your Year 12 formal. And being a child is absolutely the worst of all.
Oh, thanks very much.
Oh, keep your hair on. That's not a reflection on you. It's just, it's so horrible being a child and not being able to do the simplest thing that you want. Even staying up late to watch TV requires all this negotiation.
Oh, that's so true. And school is so boring.
I have to say, I wish you'd been more upfront about this at the time.
What, when you were 4? No, I did want you to learn to read and write, oddly enough. Of course I had to pretend that school was a great idea. I hated school. You're not Robinson Crusoe there.
You know when life is actually really great?
Well, never, according to you.
No, those few years before you start school and you're just watching TV all the time, like it was in the good old lockdown. No excursions to boring museums, no sports carnivals.
Well, you won't have to go to a sports carnival ever again, pandemic or no pandemic.
So do you really think there is an afterlife?
No.
Really?
No, that's all right. I'm looking forward to some peace and quiet.
But if there's no afterlife, what's the point of all this?
Well, I don't suppose there's any point at all, really. But it doesn't mean there's still not lots of things to enjoy, like old movies and unauthorised biographies of the royal family.
One time I stayed in a hotel and the minibar was free. All I did was book online. And limited edition dishwashing liquid is fun, even though the edition probably isn't all that limited.
Finding a heavily discounted pair of pants is actually quite wonderful.
Well, I don't want to die and leave all that behind.
Well, you won't have to. It hasn't happened. I mean, we're not wiped out yet, and everyone in my family lives for 1,000 years. Like, look at Nora.
I don't want you to die either. If you're right about the afterlife, we'll never see each other again.
Well, I've been wrong before.
Yeah. Just look at that teapot.
So, it is possible I've been wrong about the afterlife. Look, if you go before me and you find out there is one, just let me know and I'll make sure I die a few days later and I can keep you company.
Well, thank you. That would be very nice.
Ooh.
Anyway, I'm going to need someone else there who can talk to Nora.
Oh, I won't be talking to Nora.
Also, don't forget, you'll need to avoid June.
Ah, I'll be with Angel Face.
Lockdown would have been much better with Angel Face here.
He'd be 25 years old if he's still alive.
Isn't that the ideal age, according to you?
Without a tooth in his head. I do hope you keep coming to visit me, even though you don't have to.
I've always come to visit you.
Well, won't have the same excitement, though.
Well, it's still very exciting just not having to wash my hands. Anyway, let's put the TV on. And we should get the start of the news. Maybe everything's about to change.